6 years later to 37 months, and 9 years later to 14 months. The majority of people who are admitted to residential care will die in residential care. Do we talk about that? Do we say, welcome to the facility? We are so excited to have your mom here. We have this great activity program. You saw the activities that are happening. You saw this and that. We have great things to offer her. But I want you to know, Scott, that we also have an expertise in caring for people who are dying. And we will be here for your mom and care for her right the way through to her death. We want to make sure that care is the kind of care she would want. So in the next visit when you come in, could we talk about that? And could we specifically talk about things that she would want that would be important to her? Excellence includes asking, could she or he be dying? And instead of just having the life focus, having the ability to look at the dying also. If we just focus on living in rehab, or if we just focus on dying, we get distorted. If we focus on both of them, we can see better. Another question, would I be surprised if she or he were to die in the next year? If not, a palliative approach is more than appropriate. Frailty and dementia, everything from the welcome to the reviewing the care plan as we go, to making sure we have medications on board for when somebody needs a route change. Excellence is about reducing fear. We have prenatal classes to help people give birth. We have pre-op classes to decrease anxiety prior to surgery. We also offer pre-death information. This woman said to me, it's not the being, it's not the being, the being, I said, dead. Yeah, it's not the that bothers me. It's the, I said, dying? Yeah, it's that bothers me. And I said, well, you know what they did for us when we had babies? She said, no, what? I said, they taught us prenatal classes. Oh, yeah. I said, well, you know what we do for people before they're dying? What? Well, we teach them pre-death classes. Oh, would you like one of those pre-death classes? When she finally, decided that yes, she did, then we talked through, what did that look like? What might that look like for her? And what was important to her? And what did she want? And what didn't she want? Excellence includes offering information. Dr. Seuss's book, Do You Like Green Eggs and Ham? Do you like it, Sam I Am? Do you like it here or there? Do you like it anywhere? Our job is to say, do you like information? Do you like it here or there? Do you like it anywhere? Who do you like it with? Do you want the textbook version? Do you want the pamphlet version? Do you want the internet sites? What do you want? What's important to you? What's helpful? Excellence includes educating loved ones and staff, learning that with gentleness and compassion we can use the D word. And in fact, it's a good thing to use the D word. A doctor said to me, I don't like to talk to family about death. This is somebody who is a gerontologist who works in a long-term care facility, because it upsets them. This is good. It's not a bad thing. Is it upsetting when the oncologist tells you that you don't have long to live? Yes, sure it is. But does it help you get your act together? Absolutely. Does that help the family? Absolutely. So I'm looking after this lady. I knew her and her husband. I was looking after them, and he stopped breathing. And she sobbed, and she landed on him, and she's sobbing, and he starts breathing again. So she sits back. And a while later, he stops again, and she goes, and she grabs him, and she holds on to him. And then he starts breathing again. So finally, after he does this about 15 times, I said to him, you got to stop doing this or nobody's going to believe you. Eventually, she would sit there and he'd stop breathing and she'd hold his hand. And then she sat on the bed that was next to the hospital bed. And all of a sudden, his face looked different. And he took shallow breath and then nothing, and shallow breath and nothing. And I said to her, Vera, I think he's going now. And she came and she sat down next to him, and he died. And she sat with him, and she was beautiful and peaceful. And then she turned to me and she said, how'd you know? He had died 17 times, and he had prepared her. You know that graph? Let's use that graph and help people get used to what this dying thing is all about. We need to help people talk about the four-letter word. Do you know what the four-letter word in end-of-life care is? Food. Who has problems about intake? The BC government, who wants everybody weighed, even though weight loss is normal. Families and staff. Does the patient have a problem? No. They don't want to eat. They know what they want to eat. And you know what? It's not as much as we think people need to eat. Has anybody here tried to go on a diet? You don't need a lot to be able to exist, do you? Well, people who are dying, often they don't want to eat a whole lot. We need to help people understand that the need for nourishment does change across the lifespan. We need to help them understand that anorexia and cachexia, there's some great current research about that. Cachexia being the involuntary weight loss of more than 5 or 10% of body weight. There's some fantastic stuff that helps inform this. We need to help them understand that weight loss and that not eating and that dying is not the same as starvation. And finally, we need to provide them with analogies and metaphors to help them figure out how they can keep loving and caring without feeding. Now, I'm running out of time. Many of you have come to Canada from different areas and different countries. You have left your language, your culture, your community, your family. You have learned to get along in a new culture and speak a new language. One of the ways we do excellence in our practice is by helping people navigate in a foreign system called the healthcare system. One of the ways we help them have that we do excellence is by, in fact, teaching them a new language. Now, I'd like you to close your eyes for about 3 seconds. Just keep your eyes closed for a minute. I'm going to just, while you're doing this, I'm going to whip through some PowerPoints of some things I was going to talk about, the resources that we have outside that I hope translate things into nice, easy language, the online education that I was going to tell you about that is one of our goals, is to try and help make education so available to people and exciting and interesting. You can open your eyes now. But you're welcome to come and see us, and you're welcome to connect with us. We'd love to tell you about those things. But I want to just leave with an image. The arbutus tree grows on the coast, often in rough and rocky soil, hanging on the edge, torn by wind and rough seas, and grows gnarled and unique. I think of the human spirit and the ability of the human being to grow and thrive amongst struggle. And for me, I believe that just like there can be place for growing on the land of edge and sea, there can be a place for growth at the edge of life and death. These can be times of growth. Practical nurses striving for excellence in practice and education are practically perfect in every way. I believe that excellence is a habit. I believe excellence is an attitude, that excellence tastes good, it feels good, and hopefully, Jillian, it will not only stick to our hips, it will stick to our hearts. Excellence is in the simple things. Thank you for the work you do. May you enjoy the caregiving you do. May you enjoy the learning, and may you take it and translate it and help people translate and understand what is going on in their lives. Thank you very much.